business. I ain't getting paid with you, my color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with you. I been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support ride. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time, another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winning side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field, hit the wind. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way when my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Grape colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us about 20 miles south of downtown LA at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Chargers. Strap in, this will be a good one. 2 one-loss teams getting together as they're underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go! Take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Secondary 90, collect the keys. Hey, easy.
Check 24, check 24.
Melvin Gordon, the 2-time Pro Bowler. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Gordon, a Pro Bowler for the second time last season, 885 yards, 10 touchdowns, and that was only in 12 games played a season ago. And he also switched jersey numbers in the offseason from 28 to 25, and 25, that's the number he wore when he was dominating the Big Ten college gridiron for the Badgers of Wisconsin. Open man, it's Allen. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. The Charger first down, Rivers hooking up with Allen. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. A toss play, Gordon. Oh, good move. There goes Melvin Gordon. 30, 10, touchdown LA. Melvin Gordon, his 6th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. You talk about explosion plays. Here's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up the touchdown on the opening drive.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Locke and the Broncos going to come up first and 10 at their own 18. Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Phillip Lindsay. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 17-yard line.
1, Ready up.
58. 58 to Mike.
Go.
And 58 to Mike. Go 58.
On second down, here's Locke. He finds Riddick, complete. 4 yards on the pickup, and just like that, it's third down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back to the offense. Let's go.
Ready.
On first and 10, here's Locke. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47, and they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
At the 47-yard line.
Ready. Hey, Brown 80.
51. You'll never win. You'll never win. Let's go.
Brown.
Check 52.
White 89.
Now Gordon on first down. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. Second and 10 coming up. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Allen, the intended receiver, and that'll make it third down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
You go tight. You got tight.
Plus the right.
You got tight right there. 47.
Hey, Charlie.
47's the mic.
On third down, Rivers looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down. This one away by the punter, Dar. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start first and 10. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. Second and 11. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run.
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
Going for the deep ball. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out first and 10.
36.
White.
Check 9. Chance. Hatchet. Kill. Kill. Turn up.
Hey, Delta. 300.
First down, Rivers. And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. The sack by Todd Davis. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement, because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
We'll see if they do that. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now this throw caught left side. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Well, last year, Henry really looked poised for a prime breakout season, but then May 22nd, tore his ACL during OTAs, ruled out for the year. Actually was added to the active roster in a pretty heroic return for their playoff clash with New England, but did not play. 29 career games for Henry, 12 touchdowns, and now with Antonio Gates' career coming to a close, they expect a lot out of the 24-year-old Hunter Henry. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. They'll run on first down. Gordon shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Hey, Rocket.
To throw on 3rd down. Rivers. Flush to his right. Benjamin with it over the middle. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
180. Hey, 79. 70.
1st and goal, Melvin Gordon. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set them back for 2nd down. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Now Rivers. His pass caught with the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards.
It's now 3rd and goal.
Hit 180. Hey, Brown 80.
Here we go. Switch.
Red.
3rd and goal for Rivers. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Von Miller in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Badgley able to punch this one through. The Chargers, a team that's really been plagued by poor field goal kicking the last decade or so, but I think they feel they've solved their problems with Badgley.
I would say so. He went 15 for 16 in 10 games last season, undrafted out of Miami. And remember, he had 5 field goals in the playoffs against the Baltimore Ravens.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
At their own 19-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 24-yard line.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Locke throwing on 2nd down. Throw left side complete. It's Lindsey. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down.
When a linebacker's able to sit at the second level and see things develop in front of him, as soon as he got a hint that the quarterback was checking it down, he just made a beeline directly for the receiver and ended up making the play.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. To throw it is Locke. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Able to push his way through. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because
and got his man complete. Give him 30 yards there.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. On second down, it's Gordon. There goes Melvin Gordon. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon with his second touchdown here in this first half. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And now time is called as we've got an injured Charger down there on the field. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
We got 4.
Hey, Delta.
Another try after the first down sack. Locke. That one into the hands of Hamilton. And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. Now it's Bird on the return. They knew they were going to have great field position, went all out, got a little too aggressive.
And you have to understand your angles. They're cut down. When they're that backed up, you've got to be careful going after him.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10. They'll run the toss. It's Lindsey. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
Leo! Switch! Ready?
Lock to throw on 2nd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
I don't think you got it, son.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Got him in. He finds Sanders. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Throwing on 1st down is Locke. This is Reddick on the screen. 7 yards there on the 1st down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. The Broncos on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Locke going to try and throw on 3rd down. He's got his tight end fan. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 27-yard line. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Locke now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That good for 22 and a 1st down. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. The kick by McManus is good. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. So we have come, and just like that, on we head to half number 2. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the 3rd quarter.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Clock now on first down. Left side here to Sanders. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play.
Here we go.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10.
Hey, Mark 52.
On first down, Locke. Now Locke, he lost the football. It's held. And picked up by the Chargers. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Watch out.
180.
On second and 11 now. Rivers. And this complete to Henry over the middle. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. So from the 36 now, first and 10. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And this will be incomplete.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off?
He's
got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's second and 10. Here's Rivers. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
And now offensively it's third and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. On third down, Rivers. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Von Miller has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. He is racking the sacks up. Charles, 5 last week, now 2 here.
I don't care what they've done in scheme. It's not working. I mean, you can do it all day long, all night long. They did it all week, and it hasn't worked. And, in fact, on that last sack, I thought I saw him drop a Pro Bowl ballot at the feet of the quarterback and say, here's a pen right in my name.
He keeps playing like this, he'll be dropping those ballots from a plane above the city. 2 sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. Flacco looking for his first toss. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown Broncos. Cortland Sutton, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point from McManus is good, and that will get them one closer. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position, the ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. This is Gordon. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Caught left side, Williams.
You got it. You got
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down.
Hey, Delta! Good!
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And an alley to run. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. And now time is called as we've got an injured Charger down there on the field. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. To throw, Rivers. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here.
Good job, fellas.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Rivers hands off to Eckler, and he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. And there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Check.
From the gun, Rivers. Over the middle, complete. It's Henry. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down.
Watch the pass. Rush in.
From the shotgun, it's Rivers. And right side, Henry's got it. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Badgley able to knock this one through. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
2nd and 10 at the 21-yard line.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Here we go again.
To pass, Flacco. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Round 80.
Chargers take over first and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Hey, watch it.
Load it. Load it.
Following the interception here, Rivers. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Back now at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. It's Charger football, and they've got the lead as well as we begin the 4th quarter. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Throwing Rivers. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun.
Check. Fresno.
Wait, 89.
3rd and long for Rivers. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And it'll be 1st and 10, Broncos from deep in their own territory. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next? Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Joey Bosa, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Tackle made by Thomas Davis. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick, and they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Running on first down, Eckler. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, Rivers. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. Fielded
about a yard deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And in fact, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
I got it. Tight end right. Tight end right.
Throwing on second down. Flacco. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Joey Bosa in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. Now after the sack, Flacco and the Broncos come up 3rd and long.
Back to you. Check 24. Check 24.
Monday, check.
3rd and long for Joe Flacco. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sanders. And he gets up near the 25 to about the 24 before going out of bounds.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They're going to look to throw on 4th with Flacco. And he finds Hamilton. That's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Deshaun Hamilton, 76 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And the lead will shrink to 6.
Makes the score Chargers 23, Broncos 17. Brandon McManus set to kick off.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Hey, 79! 79!
On second down, Eckler. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. The offenses have success. You could say they've run wild a little bit. Time for the defenses to get into the act, and one does here.
Nothing like a little bit of revenge for the defense. They've had to deal with it all game long. Both offenses going up and down the field. How about it when they take the ball away and take it to the other end zone?
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
Red Delta! Red Delta!
Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. It's caught on the right side. Williams. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
180, round 80, 0.
Now on 2nd and 13, Rivers. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Left. Q.
Operating from the gun, Rivers. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. And they string that play out nicely. He stopped before he can turn upfield. No gain, 2nd down. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. They'll run here with Lindsey. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. Pressure mounting, Flacco. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Thomas Davis. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Man open left side, it's Williams. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now hold on here, we do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. A costly penalty there. A lineman got downfield, and for the moment, that cost him 6 points.
Easy.
It's Eckler again. He's to the 10. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
They come out here in the eye. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. Gets it into the hands of Allen on the jet sweep. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here.
Wide, get wide. Shift. Joker.
Wait, 89.
Now a toss play to Eckler. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Alert 3. Check 13.
Rivers. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
So here comes a very important kick now for Michael Badgley. This to take the lead here in the final minute. Badgley's kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say